James T. Kirk in a sexy
There we
way.
go. There. That's the intro, folks. Kind of like Kirk in a sexy way. Folks, welcome to the Random Party Generator.
We're talking about my ass, of course, boys and girls.
Not talking. I am certainly not talking about Joe's ass. Of course, the horse's ass. But in any case, I'm Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OTR. In center square is Tim Short, Gothridge Manor. With a night full of reach around.
No, he's not center square. Center square was always the main dude in the Hollywood
We don't
square.
have 9. We don't have 9. He's the center square.
Technically,
did we
that
have 9
is.
one time?
Did we?
We did.
It was a shit show.
Yep. That was
fucking
hilarious.
shit show.
It was one of the holiday ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fucking fuck Wizards of the Coast one with the license. Everybody and their grandmother joined the show. I didn't think we could have that many people simultaneously. You must upgrade your license for that, Eric.
Yeah, probably. Let me in.
Yeah.
Rob Conley has an evening full of reach arounds ahead of us. So,
yes. Get the lotion out, boys and girls. Get the lotion out.
Please, 14 and older only. Just saying. We don't know why, but we're going to be demonetized anyway. It doesn't make a difference.
Oh, it's coming. No pun intended.
Yeah,
did we get Okay. Let's go on the record with it. Did we get demonetized last time?
Yes.
There you go, folks. You have it from the channel host himself.
I've never gotten demonetized.
Yes.
The other night, Tim and I were talking. I dropped a C word. I'm like, oh, that's the magic word.
You dropped the C word, and you didn't.
Did.
He did.
Dude, I couldn't even use a baseball term.
Dude,
that sounded like the C word without YouTube going.
That's why I thought I was fucked, and I didn't get demonetized, dude. I was maybe they couldn't understand because I wasn't drinking. I was smoking a little, but maybe they couldn't understand. Maybe I had a little weed accent or something, but they couldn't understand that. I guess, and I didn't get demonetized. It was awesome.
So maybe that's
some channels are so obscure.
New York accent.
I'm sorry, Greg. You
didn't paying attention.
Does he have 100 subs yet? Just throwing it out there. There's chubbyfunster dot whatever the fuck YouTube.
I'm not putting out videos like you, so I'm not. I did it as a demo for make promos for Ambition and Avarice, but I never.
I thought that it was ASMR that you did a channel for. What do you mean?
No.
Oh, geez. All right, so
it's gonna be one of those nights.
Oh, I had a few before.
And the one who does not look like Captain Kirk at all.
I do too.
Life.
I have his abs completely. When he's wearing his girdle, I have his abs.
Abs of a 97-year-old man.
Congratulations. It's kind of me and him have the same gut size around right now, I think too.
Yeah,
so
there you go. But by the way, I've got my Bundaberg Australian ginger beer, which actually.
Ooh.
Now wait a minute, Eric. Do you have multiple monitors?
You can't even open it.
You just failed a strength check, Rob. He rolled a 1. He rolled a Tim on his open beer check right here. All right.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I had to re-roll. I had to use my advantage.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Look at this tab.
No. The penalty for rolling in that one in this circumstance is national or international embarrassment.
God, that was bad.
National Embarrassment Day? Who's that?
What kind you got there?
Awkward silence.
I had ginger beer.
Oh, I got Blue Moon going here tonight. I'm slowly calming down from the evening.
If I had to be one of those teetotalers, this would be my teetotaling choice.
Okay, all right.
Diet ginger beers, man. And this is probably the best of the diets.
Diet beer?
Diet ginger beer. I can't. I listen. Those NA beers, they go 50 calories, and it's all carbs.
Dude, it's yeah. My brother is into when he's doing the Atkins diet. He got this beer. It's like Bud Zero or some shit. It's got no carbs. It also got no taste. It tastes like somebody. What's it?
Bud 55.
I don't know. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like somebody had a beer and then got a big glass of water and pissed in it after they had a beer, and then that's what you're drinking. That's what it fucking tastes like. It's terrible.
No. You had a light beer, you pissed it out, you put it in the fridge, then you drained all color from it.
Yeah. It's awful. It's fucking
Oh
awful.
my god! Yeah, that was one. I think that it's one of the beers that stayed in my fridge for like a year and a half,
Mm.
and it's like, oh, I don't know if I can drink this.
Did we lose Grammy? Who's Grammy? What does that mean?
RPG.
RPG Grandma.
Yeah.
Is somebody named RPG Grandma?
Yes.
Do
Are
you
you
not
serious?
pay attention, Joe?
I
don't
was just
know.
gonna say.
Who the hell is RPG Grandma?
She's a subscriber to your channel.
Holy shit. Yeah, there we are. RPG Grandma. Holy shit. I just scrolled up. I got a little late, boys and girls.
Man,
No shit.
You got to start paying attention, Joe.
I don't pay attention.
So Mr. Gunn asked me if I got my copy of the Harn hardback Tharda, which is the last Kickstarter together, which gives me the perfect opening that Columbia Games has another hardback Kickstarter.
Hardback.
Wow,
Okay.
this is going to be a good night. Rob can't talk. Eric can't get open his beer. Joe's Joe. Yeah.
This time, it's the Kingdom of Canday.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on.
It was
Hold
good.
on, Rob. For the reach around, I got to give you a full.
Yeah.
Why did you? What did you do? What did you do?
What do you mean?
That's the old version.
Oh, okay. I'm like wondering.
Yeah, this
cut
is
it up in
the
pieces?
binder version, Joe.
Oh, I thought you cut
So
up
the
in
one
pieces.
it's not the new.
The part you hate.
Yeah, binders.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Eric the link, but this one actually has more articles than usual. It has the city, the kingdom, plus 3 castles this time.
3.
It has a castle of basically paladin types, the royal castle of the Kingdom of Canday, and another castle called Sarkum, which is which is out on the western part of Canday. Is like moorland. That castle is located in that region.
Yeah, there's a new Kickstarter going right now, right? That what you're talking about, Rob? Okay.
Yeah, there's a new Kickstarter, and I'm about
when does it end? You sucked me into this shit, and it's never ending. I didn't realize that Harm has put out 3,000 fucking books, Rob. I'm never. My OCD requires me to back every one, and yet I will die before this is done. Apparently, I will die.
Well, the current series have 2 more books to go. They will be this one, Tribissa.
Oh, I'm not that fast, Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Harn Kickstarter at the moment.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm in for $58 motherfucking bastard.
So
anyway,
this is Tribissa. And then the last one, I don't have a cover for this one because they haven't made it yet. But this is the Kingdom Evolve, the Kingdom of the Elves. And this is what the old style Harn article used to look like, and they're going to revamp it for the last Kickstarter. But of course, though, one of the things about in the early days of Harn, they came out with a city book with 7 cities in it, and they made a sequel to it called Sons of City, which expanded each of the Harn cities. Well, I had to break the bad news to Joe that likely they're going to come out with the Son of the Hardbacks.
God.
Where they repeat each hardback, but the hardback isn't going to include all the Canday articles that they have out now.
Yeah.
Why would they?
So they're probably going to expand it with the additional articles that they have.
If I die before this is done, I'm going to come and haunt you, Rob, forever.
I believe it.
That's all I'm saying. I will. My OCD is triggered already just thinking about this. I will haunt your ass until for the all end of time and all your 3 generations after.
If your pocketbook gets too light, you can always subscribe to the Harn Lord subscription and get it half off.
That wouldn't work because I'm already behind too many years. Decades. I'm behind decades on that goddamn.
But you get the PDFs for half off.
That's not the same. It's not the same, Rob. You don't
You can
understand.
print it out and put it in your own binder.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know how hard it is to put 3-ring binders on a fucking shelf, right? Because the thickness of the width of the outside is fine, but if you try to stack it with other books on your shelf, you can't do it. It just fucks the whole shelf up. You need whole shelves of 3-ring binders, which messes up my my ordering system. It doesn't work. No.
So that leads me to my
the rules, or whatever it was, the monstrous compendium.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how this is where I knew that I was OCD. When those fucking things came out, and I couldn't, because you can't sort them in pure alphabetical order, because the front page has one thing, like might be AU, and then the back page has BU. But in the real, 3-ring tome, you have 9 monsters between that thing. You can't do it. It fucks the whole alphabetical order up. That was the biggest.
You're right, Joe. I think that happened on the 3rd release of additional material.
Mm-hmm.
I got that, and I thought to myself, "What is this shit?"
Yeah,
because the Harn guys were already releasing their loose leaves on a regular basis, and they didn't do this shit.
No.
And there were like 1/10 of the size of Wizard, or not Wizard,
terrible.
TSR. But this leads to my next reach around.
Back then they were called
so they released another fan supplement on Lithia.com, and I wanted to print this one out, and I used my new printer and I didn't have heavyweight 11 by 17, so I really wanted to. I was waiting for the right project because there's a lot of ink being used with this, so I wanted to print this out because I liked it. So I figured it out. So I printed out. It's double-sided, staple bound.
Looks good.
It's that Epson printer I got, and it worked out really, really well.
Why is the page curled? You all humid out there and shit?
I need a few more devices to do these proper. Like I need a what they call a guillotine's page cutter in order to slice this evening. And so it's still printing out these full-size magazines. Still a work in progress, but it worked out rather well. Yeah, I suppose next time I'll let all the pages dry before I fold them and staple them.
Blaming the pages. Okay.
Guys, the pages.
I was with my brother tonight. He had a good thing happen to him today, so we're having a celebration at the bar, of course. And I was just telling him, it's finally hit a certain point in our campaign that I'm running for each of you, because my brother, we split the groups. My brother's running. He's the guinea pig. Him and a few friends are guinea pigs for my new RPG, whereas you guys are sticking with the 2E system. But you're in the same world in like parallel universe that every once in a while bleed over in terms of ideas, right? So I'm stealing from one campaign to add to the other to make it more fleshed out. And I finally hit the stage where I wondered when it was going to happen, where it feels like a true living, breathing world in a sandbox. I was so excited about this the other night, because when you guys got back to that city of Parnas and you had all the things that are going on, I'm like, now it's growing, now it's breathing, now it's vibrant. It's like a good DM moment when you're envisioning a future campaign and how it's going to hit, and when it's going to hit and where it's going to hit, and it's finally hit. You know what I mean? It just feels good. And I figured we got another couple years on this thing, before it bleeds out. But I'm finally feeling good about it. Like, all right, now I'm giving you more than just the dungeon of the day. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I kind of designed the Axe campaign that way from the beginning, with the multiple options. And I mean, that not criticizing at all. Just saying that, like, right from the beginning, I gave them a map. They had almost there was not really that many hooks at the beginning. It was like, what's over here?
Yeah.
And then I put 3 classic modules out within like a 2 or 3 day walk from the starting point. So eventually they found all 3.
Yeah.
And they have like prioritized, okay, this one is more dangerous, so we're holding off on that. This one is in the middle of an undead necropolis, and we don't want to deal with the undead, so that they went with the third one, focusing most of their energy. But it's them in control. If they come out and say, this is getting too tough, let's go over to the other one. It's really put the control in their hands, and I have everything like statted up. And all I have to do is just show, like, there's very little lift, even as complex as Axe can be.
Yeah.
Because I'm not having to come up with where am I going to direct them or anything. Like, it's all on them.
Yep.
And I made a tweet about this earlier in the week, that the great thing about how Axe handles reserve XP is I don't care if they die either.
Mhm.
Like it has no impact on me at all. If they save XP in the form of putting gold in their reserve fund, then when they die, they come back as level 2 or 3 or whatever. But if they don't, then they come back as level 1, and that I don't give a shit. That's not on me.
Yeah.
It's on them, and
Yep.
it's freeing when you get to that point where they're running the show rather than you having to lead them by the nose in anything.
You know what got me too is when you guys the groups basically diverged into two different groups, as I kind of figured what happened eventually anyway. And so my brother and the old school guy, those guys, my college crowd and my friends from in real life here in person went into one group, and you guys, the old school crowd, went into the other group, and you guys stuck with 2E, and they went with the new RPG. And what I realized was like, oh, son of a bitch! Now I got 2 fucking games, twice the work, blah blah blah. Now I'm just stealing from one to add to the other.
Right.
You didn't do the goblin thing. Guess what happened to them? Goblin thing. It was already designed. And not only that, you guys were down south. They were up north. Now they have a good reason to go down south to get the golden acorn, and you guys are going north. And not that you're going to do the same shit they are, because it's different, but it's already so much have been developed in that area that I have way more immersive things to give you. It's more of a living, breathing world, so it's just kind of fun. I've hit that. And the weird thing is that my brother's group is like 4th, 5th level ish, and you guys are about 5th, 6th level ish. Completely different when you look at the scaling, because I realize that my own RPG scales more towards the 5E than the 2E, where your guys playing 2E 5th or 6th level, you're pretty much walking around with a big dick. You know what I mean? You guys are badasses, so and plus you guys got magic and they don't. So it's just kind of very different, and yet the same. You're doing the same shit in a way, Anyway, I ranted, but it's just fun. I'm looking forward to it. The more and more we play, I'm looking forward to it now, It's pretty cool.
I can guarantee you too, even if we do play this for another 2 years, we still won't be able to find shit on that character sheet.
You're not wrong there,
and
dude.
I refuse to recode it to fix it.
No, you can't recode that, Rob. I mean, this is somebody's creation, man.
Dude, I've been in software development for 40 years. If I wanted to recode it, I can recode the
Yeah? Oh, Rob's whipping it out now. Here we go. Here we go.
A challenge.
Oh, God. It is pretty fucking. It's 2E is a clunky ass system, and this guy took upon himself the task to integrate a 2E online VTT Roll20 character sheet with everything that was ever published for 2E, as contradictory as it was. Right. So I give the guy credit for doing such a thing.
Oh yeah, and he typed in all the spell descriptions.
Oh, it's insane.
All that. So
it's so
kudos
ridiculous.
for that. He did outstanding work with that. But the organization, the high level user interface, load.
No.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Bad.
It's bad, and it's beyond bad. Even I mean, it makes sense if you're kind of like have a brain wired just exactly like his. If you don't, you are completely hosed. Right? You're just done. Yeah, I mean, I'll show you. It's a great. I mean, God, I don't know how he did it, but here, I'll show you if you want to see. Here, let me share the screen. All right, I have to. All right, horn is closed. Okay, here we go. Good. There you go. So this is the character sheet. All right. This is the info, which SMXP, some not even.
Yeah. But then you have to remember the sub menu. So you're on info right now.
You got details.
Now if you want additional stuff, you got to go to tracker,
domain. None of it makes sense. Attributes aren't even the first thing. The info is the first thing.
Right.
You would think attributes would be the first fucking thing, And then you got, all right, what's the weapons? All right. And then blah, blah, blah.
You have to remember whether you're dealing with a melee weapon.
Exactly. Melee or ranged, or down here they're different, right? And then you got your ammo. So you go to hit with a ranged weapon, all right? Let's say you hit with the fucking hand axe, all right? Whoop-de-doo. Oh, cancel. So I'm sorry, you can't see that whole screen. So you hit with the hand axe, and then you got to roll on a whole different table to see what the fucking damage is down here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, and you got to remember not to hit the crit button. You got to hit the little tiny die button.
But I will say that having the 2E stuff be automatic, pretty much, as long as you click on the right thing, and sometimes you're like, is it adding the right modifier or whatever? But having it do all the math, really makes 2E a lot more fun to play.
It does.
2E was a difficult.
I think without it, it'd be unplayable almost.
I agree.
I wouldn't play it. Yeah,
Thaco alone would be insane to deal with. I mean, the one time we had a Thaco question that came up, none of us had thought. We all knew it 30 years ago. None of us have thought about it in 30 years, and so or whatever it's been, and so. When this thing is all programmed in, we don't need to think of Thaco as an instinct. It's not like, a conditioned response. And so there was one point where I think Greg's dog, whatever, somebody had to hit, what was the Thaco? And I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Just roll and we'll figure it out. If it's low, it's miss. If it's high, it's a hit. And if it's somewhere in between, God damn it, I'll have to figure it out. That's how it came down. But I mean, you got the rogue thing, the turning thing, the non-weapon and weapon proficiency thing. Holy shit. Spells. I mean, it's just not easy.
You got to go to my other character for the spells.
Yeah. Let's pull your other guy up here. Oh yeah, because I closed it stopped. What's your other guy's name? Fucking Daramir, right? Yeah.
Daramir.
Yeah. So let me reshare a Daramir screen here. All right, hold on a minute. The spells are kind of crazy too, kind of wonky, I gotta say. But I mean, for what he had to work with, I can't deny that he put in a shit ton of work.
He did.
Oh yeah,
it is really. He's been doing this for. It looks like a thing with love involved here. I mean, this guy, so he did a lot. But here's the spells. I mean, spells
and that's
memorized.
the thing. The spells you have to click on the different spell levels to see the different lists.
Yeah.
So I will say he does have a one-click repopulate the entire list of spells, especially when you're a cleric.
Yeah. So if you're running 2E. By the book, like I am, of course, without any house rules. This is a really good
come on,
character sheet for you. But other than that,
it's very simple and streamlined.
It is. It's very easy. It's intuitive, actually.
Mr. Gunn brings up what could be considered to some to be the news of the week, but you didn't get it right. So D&D Beyond fiasco, they are.
I didn't hear about this.
Removing folks. They're not. If you bought microtransaction content, you still have it.
What does that mean?
But going forward, you no longer can buy microtransaction content. So say I want to defeat Tim's smelly feet. Now it's in Tasha's humongous ass. The book, okay, just saying. The foot isn't literally in the ass, but
I think it was stripper named Tasha.
Let's say
on my OnlyFans page,
she had a big ass too.
Let's say Tim's feet was in Tasha's book,
or
you
her
could
ass.
Just say I want her ass. I could just take that feet for $1.50, and get that feet for my character sheet.
Yep.
Now, no. You want that feet? You got to buy the whole book for D&D Beyond, even if you already own it. In physical.
What?
Yeah, and the way they had the a la carte going was if you bought them all individually, they were more expensive, but they did knock off the price of the entire book. So if you find out that you're using a lot of Tauscher or Xanaxar and you bought enough of them, you say, you know what, I'm just going to get the whole book. They would cut you a significant break on buying the whole book for D&D Beyond. And but now all that's done away with, and not only that, D&D Beyond allows homebrew content. So now that they have done this, now that they teed off the people, the regular user who do this all the time, they're now making homebrew content that replicate it. They'll alter one of few names because they do detect if you try to copy and paste the original text, but it's easy enough to tweak the description so that it will pass muster. But now they're doing it and making it accessible, and people are now just adding it from there for free. And the bet's on is how long Wizards are going to allow this to continue before they take away the ability to add homebrew.
I see. The problem is that I don't know anything about D&D Beyond. I know it's a place to have your character sheet online and accessible in all games or something like that. I don't know too much about it. So that's where I'm sort of lost there.
In one way, D&D Beyond is WotC's alternatives to selling PDFs.
All right.
They control the media. So PDFs are evil and bad because people will take your PDF and put it up over like all over the dark web or the darkened web or the not so bright web, and people will find it, and God forbid they're not going to buy your content. They'll just steal it. Well, with D&D Beyond, you buy digital books that you never own. You're essentially renting them because if you're not logged into D&D Beyond, you're not going to get access to your damn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also something else that hasn't been picked up on yet, which I stumbled across reading their facts. So this was a big push. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, WotC increased the prices of all their physical books. So if you pre-ordered them, the books went from $49 to $59. But then, immediately thereafter, they said, hey, if you pre-order, you can only get it as a bundle. And that bundle includes the D&D Beyond book. And that will now be a bundle for basically $70. So they just did a 40% price increase and forced the digital content on you. But they give you a little bit of a, make you feel better about it. We'll give you the digital content 2 weeks in advance of the release of the physical book. So if you want to be that asshole, I got Tash's Yawning Portal 2 weeks before the rest of you. I can use the content in my campaigns. You can't use it in yours because you don't have it. Well, they just did away with the 2 week early access for
pre-order. Which is really surprising because this is a company with such a strong reputation for doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
And really helping the customer, What a surprise.
Yeah, can you share my screen? Show my screen. So this is what you could have gotten before when you bought a physical book off of D&D Beyond, and they would give you this part for free, which is the complete adventure. So whoops, I'm clicking on the screen instead of my website. So, I mean, you go down, you click on an entry, it gives you the exact text in the book, and then it gives you the map. You can right click and copy the image and use it in the VT. They give you a VTT version. They give you illustration, and it's a nice package, with the disadvantages. You can only use it on the D&D Beyond website. And as far as, rules go, I mean, you have the rule book here, but when you go and make a character, collection, my character, you had access to all the content that you buy. And more importantly, you had, if you wanted to, you can, let's see, where's the characters? I don't use this often, so.
Like, Rob, you're revealing yourself to be a closeted 5e player.
Seems like it. I mean, you're coming out of the closet, Rob. This is your great coming out. We support you, Rob. We support you.
Oh, you should talk, Joe. You played. You and Kim played in one of my 5e campaigns.
I know. I just support you.
Okay, so anyway, and the other feature that they have is, my campaigns, and this is the Black Marsh, the 5e Black Marsh campaign I'm running once a month, and you can share the content among the players of your campaign. You only get a limited number of slots, but you can share it. And these are all the players in my campaign. And if you only want to use one class out of Xanathar or Tasha, you, the DM, can just buy one that class, whoever is going to use it, and not have to buy the whole book. Right. But they took that all away. Now you have to buy the whole book, and people are. One last thing here, you have your homebrew collection. You have these homebrew creation, and here I was inputting some of the sharing it privately, some of the stuff I created for my Majestic Fantasy Realm, and now people are going and subtly renaming everything and posting the content that's in the book and sharing them with people. And it passes their plagiarism detector, and now they just lost all the money. People are not buying the book because they can go and find among the homebrew. They can go here to browse homebrew and find Back Alley Surgeon, or let's see.
You can find a back alley surgeon. Is that a feat?
Wow.
This particular one is a rogue subclass.
That sounds like a great time.
Yes.
Playing at a fucking person who gives abortions. I mean,
No, yeah, I'm going to say the same thing.
You know?
That's yeah. By the way, Mr. Gunn, you are right, but you are also wrong, because I think like you bought a bunch of songs on Apple Music for $2 and you buy the whole album, which is what they're saying. Oh, and by the way, we're deleting all your songs you bought. No, they're not deleting people's individual content. If you bought, the feat of I don't know, fuckless freedom, because I'm just trying to make things wrong. That's not fuckless freedom. It's like Featherfall.
I just use the one that we know, the Back Alley Surgeon. You bought that one.
I bought Back Alley Surgeon. I still have Back Alley Surgeon. I can still do abortions.
No.
All right. However,
but nobody else can.
We are so demonetized.
However,
Eric, I call it Shaq.
I can't buy the book that has Back Alley Surgeons and get a discount for the prior content. That's part of. So they're not giving you credit for the credits that you already bought. They were crediting you for before, but they aren't crediting for you for now. And yeah. Okay. Oh man,
that's bullshit.
Oh. Wow.
I mean, but are you surprised though?
I mean, long story short, they fucked up again.
Actually, I am 25% surprised in that their most loyal fan.
Not 24, not 26, 25.
25% surprised because their most loyal customers, especially after everybody canceled all the people who canceled their accounts in the wake of the OGL fiasco, their most loyal customers are on D&D Beyond, and they're all saying, fuck you.
Yeah.
If you read their forum, they are upset.
Yet another fuck up.
Yeah, but it seems like it's like they still have this philosophy. All we need is one whale for 10 people who do it.
Yeah.
So if they can get that one person who's going to buy all those things, they don't need the ones that are just nickel and diamond.
Yeah.
It's just a weird philosophy.
All right. I did not catch in any what I've read about or watched that you need to contact tech support to get your access to your content again. I do know the facts said that you retained access to your content, but whatever the case may be, people are unhappy that they can't do this going forward. And what does this remind you a little bit of? This is like when Watsi pulled all their effing PDFs. How am I saying?
I remember that. I remember that.
Like, hey, we're giving you a 12-hour notice that and
2 a.m. I'm downloading everything I ever bought at 2 fucking a.m. in the morning for that goddamn mess. I remember that.
On dial-up and happy.
It was. You're right.
Yeah. Thank you, AOL, for my 500 hours. I needed 380 to download my books from drive-through RPG Now.
So there's a guy at Wizard, I forgot his name, who apparently really hates D&D Beyond, who's in charge of their digital initiative. So the speculation going around is that they're just setting up a plan to put the axe to D&D Beyond. So it's not like the executives of Hasbro are doing it. It's just one guy pushing his point of view, important guy.
Well, here is the thing, and we've known about this since shortly after the OGL fiasco, because the VTT team and the D&D Beyond team are like I don't know, Ireland during the strife. Okay, yeah, they don't get along very well. And
What are the
each one-
factions? The D&D Beyond team and the VTT team?
Yep.
Interesting.
And each thinks, well, because the thing is, in the long run, the D&D Beyond and the VTT are going to be integrated to some extent.
Yeah.
And when that happens, what do they say in Highlander? There can be only one. There can be only one. You can only have one lead. You're only going to have either it's D&D Beyond with the VTT slapped onto it, or it's the VTT with D&D Beyond slapped onto it.
Little do they know they're all going to get fired for Christmas.
Yeah, they're all dead. Yeah, they're all done.
We want to be just like the old Wizards of the Coast, which is we fire everybody before Christmas and say, Happy New Year. Aren't you enjoying that severance package as you go out the door? You can buy presents with it or health insurance, depending on
books.
God. So yeah, no, that's that was one of those holy shit moments. Even for those of us that don't use D&D Beyond, it's an indication of what's going on inside the company,
their mindset.
And the mindset, and it is penny wise, pound foolish.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the same thing.
They're just setting themselves up to get Pathfinders again.
Yeah, exactly. That's I wonder what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Daggerheart. That looks too stupid. Fucking D12s all over the fucking place or something. I mean, it's not going to be this Kobold Press's new fucking game because that's just a fucking 5e clone.
Tales of the Valiant.
Yeah, it's a stupid ass name. They should have stuck with Black Flag. It's a badass name. Tales of the fucking Valiant. Fuck you. That's not going to work.
Honestly, I think that what there's a good chance, 50-50 chance that the market would just simply splintered. That Wizards will take a tumble.
Yeah.
Not so much because people don't want to buy D&D. They can't buy D&D because Wizards is going to funnel everything through the VTT, and there's only going to be a few books out. They're not going to sell. They're going to sell everything else for the VTT, and people are going to reject the VTT.
Well, Rob, get this. I was up again talking to my brother tonight. We're talking about stuff. My brother is the quintessential guy who's been played D&D since 1984 with me, and yet he is not at all in any way, shape, or form tuned in to everything that's going on in the industry. He just plays D&D. He's got a wife, fucking a shit ton of kids, a mortgage, a dog. He has no time to think about this stuff, right? And so he just plays the game. And I was trying to explain to him that Wizards of the Coast release schedule. He didn't know what a VTT was. He doesn't know that Roll20 is a VTT. He just plays on Roll20, right? So I'm trying to explain all this to him. So I'm like, the VTT's coming out next year. They got the books coming out. They boneheaded. They're going to do the PHB, the DMG, and then the Monster Manual sometime in February. But the first two sometime in the fall or early winter. And he's like, why would they do that? I don't know. Why won't they have a 3-volume slipcase at Christmas? I don't know. Why don't they release the Gen Con? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's stupid.
Point of fact, half of the D&D editions have been staggered released.
But the point is, I mean, why wouldn't you do it at Christmas? Why wouldn't you do it at Gen Con? Make a big fucking splash. Do it all at one time. And I'm trying to tell him the VTT probably is not going to be ready by that time. And he goes like, well, who cares? I'm like, he's like, well, how are you going to play D&D with the Monster Manual? I said, they don't care. All that they care, the 3 books in D&D are going to be essentially the owner's manual for the VTT. They don't care about the pen and paper people. They don't care about the dice people. They don't care about the in-person crowd. They don't care about game stores. All they want is VTT money. The books are an afterthought because they figure they have to fucking do it, so they don't care when they fucking release it. I think it's going to go and shit the bed. It's not going to be different enough, and it's just going to be too woke to piss people off. It's not, and then VTT is not going to work well, and so people are going to splinter. And then what happens? Who takes it? I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a fucking Pathfinder. I think it's going to be a great splintering of the whole RPG D&D crowd. If there's even an audience left, because how many people picked it up over fucking COVID? Because what else are you going to do?
Well, I think if it does splinter, if that scenario does pass, I think okay. So this week or last week, the number one seller on Drive-Thru RPG is the latest Traveler supplement.
Mhm.
So what we're going to have is in the number one spot, we're going to have a kaleidoscope of RPGs that have basically unified fan bases. Mongoose Travel Second Edition, Savage Worlds. And they're going to alternate in that top slot. They don't really represent the most played system, although it's going to be great PR for them, because all the second through sixth or seventh place are going to be all the 5e, post 5e RPGs, just jostling for position. Because nobody's in the position of that Pazio was in the late 2000, who are that respected for their content that could take over the role of the brand leader.
Mm.
And
there's also something that I don't think it's really big on your radar, Rob, but there's a lot of people who are perceiving that these companies hate us. And so we're shifting our business to people who don't hate us. That's the main. I would never buy anything from Paizo because they hate me. I don't care. It could be the greatest role-playing game of all time. I will not buy it from them. Period. I would rather somebody make enough money on the side to not have to work and just have a regular income for the year as an individual, or I would rather somebody just have money to fix some things around the house than give money to Paizo. People like Kelsey and McCrease, who are just doing it kind of as sole proprietors and running the company. At least with the sole proprietor, I can tell whether they hate me or not. And these guys, they just hate us. They see us as money bags.
Hate is too strong a word. Hate means they consider us worthy of even hating. I think it's disdain. I think it's just ignoring us. It's like they are nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like hate means they acknowledge our existence.
Okay, all right, so I'm going to take this in a different direction then. It's not all been bad news from WotC. WotC actually said, hey, I guess they didn't come out and say this, but this is my interpretation. We fucked up with the release of 5e because you told us you wanted an SRD, and we told you no, you don't. You wanted the basic rules.
Yeah,
if you want to play for free because you're a bunch of cheap fucks.
Yeah.
The reality was you wanted an SRD that could be used by the third-party publishers to give you the content that we are too lazy and too inept to put into your hands. Okay, now. I was one of the ones that was assuming that with 5.2? Whatever, the new D&D Forever, that we weren't going to get an SRD, and if we did get one, it would be something that was in-house only, that you'd have to be doing the DM's Guild, and you only have access to from there. But no, they have said that within weeks after the final core book release, which means sometime after February 2025, they are going to release the SRD for the new rule set into Creative Commons.
7 words, Eric. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, with that same statement, they also stated that they're going to take, and this is where people in our community, like their brains shut down, because they hear we're going to take the older SRDs and bring them into the Creative Commons afterwards. And they go, what about 2E? What about 1E? No. There's never been an SRD for 2E or 1E.
There's never been. I mean, but at least drop
3. Did they say they're not going to do one for 1E or 2E?
They didn't say they were. They didn't say they were going to do. They were going to put the older SRDs into the Creative Commons.
Yeah, after a review.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about original D&D and BECME and Rule Cyclopedia and 1E, and don't expect that stuff, folks.
But you have the third edition, whatever the hell license, Eric. That's what allowed people to make the older editions. Yeah, so as long as they put that out there, I'll believe that they're also nice people.
And D20 actually D20 modern is more important than most people. Most people don't make clones of it, but they use a large part of it for like the Cepheus system as a large part of it that's from D20 Modern. So it's been proving useful for people in their project, the site D20 Modern.
Quick question for RPG Grandma. You said that Black Flag. What? Black Flag could be shit.
I'm sorry.
Eric, slow down. Black Flag could be the threat the PCs have to worry about. I don't know what that means.
Black Flag is Cobalt.
The PCs? What does that mean? Who?
Player character, like in a game. Black Flag is like an enemy faction in the game. That's
That's
how I
I
interpreted
thought
that.
she meant the game system or something. Because
No,
the
but she was saying that Black Flag as the name of the game system.
Gotcha. Okay.
Before you finish your thought, Joe,
good.
What they're not going to do, no matter what any of the stuff you guys have talked about shakes out with SRDs and whatever, they're not going to pick up those settings again and care about them. They're not going to say, you know what, Mystara has value to us. We like that people are interested in Mystara. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to develop this part of the world more. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, because they don't care about those things. None that's why I created Shadow Sun. That's why I encourage everybody to make whatever clone you need, however much you feel like you can duplicate, and then just go in a different direction, because they will never go back to giving a shit about this stuff. They're only just like you said, Joe, that maybe it's just indifference. They just don't care that you like it.
Yeah.
They just
you're not in their budget. I mean, the books, who gives a fuck? Everybody's online now. The old people are playing old people games and, old school stuff. The 5e crowd is the ones that stick around are going to jump on to the fucking VTT, maybe, if it works. Right. And then the middle millennials are raising kids. They got no fucking time. The middle millennials are like the Gen Xers were in the OSR days 10, 12, 15 years ago, right? And so they're barely around in the hobby, but they're starting something new maybe if they get their off their ass. But they're the Gen Xers, the Gen Zers rather, are just going to go online if it's good. If it's not, they're fucked. They're banking all their money on the Gen Zers. That's what they're doing here, and I don't think it's going to work. They don't care. They have the attention span of fucking gnats. They don't care.
I think the more serious problem, as far as creatively, with Wizard, is none of this woke bullshit. I mean, I understand your guys' anger. We can debate that another time. But the ultimate issue is their creative staff is so bare boned. It doesn't matter what their political leanings are, what their creative leanings are. It's just a small group of people, small group of minds trying to figure this stuff out. Well, the internet, print on demand, the SRDs, and all of this has unleashed people like myself, Greg, Kelsey, Alexander Macris, all kinds of people of all different stripes, and we're just going like gangbusters, and they're not going to be able to compete with us in the long run creatively. Now, I mean, if in terms of dollar volume, trying to generate that $100 million worth of sales, sure, they got all the advantage, but it's gonna splinter, and and the people who, like you said, write the stuff that you like are going to rise to the top.
But see, Rob, I don't want to get into a whole discussion about wokeness here, because it doesn't matter what they think in their head if they were making something that people wanted to buy. But there isn't any, whatever it is that we want to call what they're making, nobody wants it. That's the problem. It's not necessarily that they believe in this or that philosophy. It's that it's absolute shit.
Yeah, and but what happens, Greg, in the OSR when that happens? When an author, John Doe, releases something and it's shit,
nobody buys it.
It never reaches.
It doesn't make copper seller. That's
I mean, it just sits there with 2 sales and both of them with bad reviews.
Right. But see what, Rob, when it comes to WotC stuff, you have the completists, right? There's a large number of 5e players that buy everything that comes out because it's by WotC. And they're always the ones that'll be like, yeah, no, it's not bad. It's kind of good. You can salvage something. I've seen worse. I've seen worse on the third party. The pages look nice. They're the ones who are going to defend it because they. And listen, I was that way with fucking 2E. I bought everything that came out, And then you went, oh my God, why did I buy this fucking complete book of ninjas? Who the hell needs a complete book of fucking ninjas?
I got that book.
Especially when
Exactly.
Ninja
Now you
had
know.
enough worthy content to make a Dragon magazine article, and the rest of it was just baloney.
Exactly. It was selling because we've got to make money, and we know there are a large enough number of these back then teens and 20-somethings that had way too much disposable income.
Yeah.
Man, if I spent it on my girlfriend at the time, I probably would have married her. But she probably went. He games every Sunday. Fuck him. But the reality is, you have these collectors, and they're collecting, and they're completists. They're the OCDs. Well, you got them on the screen.
But I submit, Eric, that you can't be $100 million, whatever the Wizards' current target. You can't be the same as Magic the Gathering on that level when you're only catering to the completists. Once you start to hit, once you're at that point, then Hasbro are going to look at and say, damn, all this money that we're spending on you, we could put it to something else that would make us more money.
But see, but Rob, there's also a little, and I don't use this word much, all right?
Here comes the C word. Here comes the C word.
No, gaslighting.
Oh,
there's gaslighting within the 5e community of, no, that's really good. Come on, everybody wants to be a barista. What if you don't want to be a barista? You're one of those. You shouldn't even be in gaming if you don't want to be role playing a barista, because they're going to find a reason to justify it. I'm not saying everyone, but the company knows this, and the company knows, and the company doesn't know. I'm going to tell you another little secret about WotC. The company knows that they put out material, the automatic fan base that buys everything they put out is going to buy it.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have the ignorant assholes that have, it's like, oh, look, a new WotC release. Do I have that one? Probably not. Oh, well, I guess I'll pick it up because I got spare money. And then they never read it, and they don't even know it's shit. But
who doesn't read shit they buy, Eric? What are you saying?
Oh,
what are you saying?
Who's saying that? I'm saying
that. I don't know what you're saying, Eric.
But here's the secret. A peek behind the scenes. WotC has a shit ton of unsold materials.
Yeah.
Unsold what? I didn't hear that.
Unsold material, unsold books. They have a shit ton of shit rotting away, essentially. And it's going to have much less value with the release of D&D 2024 forever, even though they insist it's the same system. Because if it was the same system, you wouldn't need new books. There's going to be enough.
I disagree. I think
power levels. If you talk to anybody who's done any of the playtesting, and they give you an honest answer, the problem is the power levels are creeping up for all the player character classes.
Well, that I can believe.
Yeah,
but it's still the same structure. They just boost up this, boost up that.
Right, but that means that if I want to play a PC in a new 5e campaign, and it's 5e Forever D&D, and I play with my old books, I'm gonna be Johnny Come Lately. I'm gonna be the fuck with the shittier character because I'll never be as good because my power creep is behind their power creep.
Well, we're talking the same issue that plagued 3.0 in regard to 3.5. 3.5 they did the exact same tweak. So the character made with 3.5 played different and more powerfully than the character 3.0, even though behind the scenes it was pretty much the same system.
Eric Mona admitted that they knew 3.5 was coming when they released 3.0. It was just a cash grab in the future that was pre-planned. I remember his interview something he talked about that. I mean, it's just the same thing over and over. Rob. They're trying to make money.
That's pretty standard corporate policy, though.
Yeah,
stuff that you make something is going to get tons of field testing, and you're going to have to release an update.
But
you know,
it's
whether
used
you're talking
great.
about software or Teslas, I mean, like
But
it
Craig,
does.
did you play it? Did you play it? 3.0 and 3.5 was very different games. 3.0 played
I
differently.
never played 3.5.
I did. I got the books and I read them, and we played 3.0 exclusively because we didn't want to buy all the fucking books. We all had 3.0 books, and so our face-to-face group played 3.0.
I was poor at that point in my life.
I was too. That's why we couldn't buy the fucking books, the 3.5 stuff. But I downloaded.
Well,
I found them on my hard drive.
What made 3.5? Because me and Tim were playing GURPS during the time.
The change, Rob, was that 3.0 had a more of an older school feel in that the classes were separate, the spells were unique, and we lost Tim. No, we lost Eric. Holy shit.
Oh, that's
Eric.
Damn, that's different.
You're at the helm now.
I have the power.
Hold it.
Damn. What happened, Eric?
I had technical difficulties.
All right. Was that the Aurora Borealis hitting you? The magnetic fucking bullshit that's going on tonight? But anyway, Rob, the difference in 3.0,
that's all special effects that they borrowed from 2001.
I agree that too. But the thing with 3.0, 3.5, Rob, the biggest difference was it went from a game with some flavor and it wasn't all numbers based, and 3.5 made it extremely numbers based. It was all about buffing, debuffing, the 15-minute adventuring day. It was just terrible. 3.0, the way we played it, at least, maybe we were unique, but the 3.0 rule set alone didn't have all that bullshit in there. 3.5 is when you get the druid who changed into the whatever the fuck and, buffed himself and could kill Godzilla. You know what I mean? It was all about the numbers and the crunch. And that led to the downfall of the whole 3.5 line, because everything else came after with the 3.5 line was all about the new book of bullshit, which gave you more crunch and more numbers, and every spell only added plus or deducted something from somebody else or added a plus to you. That's how 3.5 came out. It was
even just with the core books alone.
Yeah. Because it changed the way you played, because once you saw the spells and the abilities, you realized, I forget the phrase they used, but it was like when you made the druid the tank of the group, because he could polymorph into something that was so badass. It was that sort of a game.
Well, this actually lets me tell my only real con story that I ever tell. So I went to Dragon Con one year, and it convinced me. This was like when I realized these people were doing something totally that I'm not interested in. So I went to a panel where they were talking about role-playing game design, and they had maybe 3 or 4 guys. It wasn't the guy who did Powered by the Apocalypse, but it was a couple of similar people, indie people, and then some people who had done some old school stuff. And his name is Jason Bullman. He's the designer of Pathfinder.
Yeah, Pathfinder.
And he was up there. And he was at the end. That was a significant thing I didn't realize was going to happen. He was at the end. So they had a question where, how do you get into your design for how do you most creative? And he went down the line, and all of the humans said, I sit in a quiet place and I think about this setting. I read these books, I watch these movies, I do these things to get my creative, and they got to Bowman, and he had the most robot answer of ever. He was like, I get my spreadsheets together, and I put all the math in the spreadsheets, and it was like he was describing reading the Matrix encrypted. I'm looking for patterns in the numbers where I can see blah blah blah, and I'm like, that is not what I want to do.
That's peak Pathfinder. I mean, that's what Pathfinder was. 3.75.
It was like a bolt from the blue, red flag. Just, this is wrong. And I was like, oh my god, I can't play that stuff. I never bought Pathfinder. I never went down that road. Even though I played a lot of 3.0.
I tried it. It was bad.
It was just, holy crap. I do not want a game design.
It wasn't Pathfinder. It was a math
in that way.
Right?
Yeah,
Mathfinder.
Everything is mathematically calculated to have the exact same impact on the game. Statistically, no matter how you deploy it, or all this was like, oh god.
There was a big YouTuber that came out a couple of years ago that released something that says, I am no longer playing Pathfinder. And because he says everything that you do, your entire progression through the classes, all it comes down to is you're plussing or negativing something that is all completely imbalanced with everything else in the game, everybody else in the game, and all the other characters in the game. And so it's not worth it. It's just a math game. It's an illusion, basically.
Yeah,
Progression and advancement is an illusion.
As much as I love Skyrim, it's the same effect of you've gained a level, and so have all the monsters.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same. That's exactly
same
what
effect.
it is.
Yeah.
And so, of all the other characters, guess what? You now do 2d8 damage on your longsword. Guess what? The wizard's magic missile does 2d8 damage. It's like, well, who the fuck cares then? Where is there a difference? Where is there flavor? Where is there differentiation? None.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you two, why are you
hold on
letting
a second, Rob. I want to.
Okay.
He mentioned the druid being the tank. Like, this is the druid shouldn't be the tank. That's what's it feels wrong to you.
Exactly.
Because the druid should have abilities outside of combat that make it's weak in combat, but it's a powerful non-combat character.
Unless there's lightning storm.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
I was just saying, you're worried about what other players. Now, something like the druid, because if their shapeshift ability allows him to be a tank, it's hard to escape that.
And the buffs. It was a combination of shapeshifting and buffs where you come out of that thing and you're just like a god.
But the culture that you stumbled into with the spreadsheet, that started in the middle 80s. Once we got the wave of RPGs that came out in the 80s, and Champions, it's the first time I encountered it, because that was a point-based system, and people, the authors in the supplement realized that people were crunching the numbers on Champion and told you how to crunch them yourself. They gave all the tricks in Champion supplement number 1. And so this is not a recent thing. Anytime a system has a lot of twirly options and allow you to tweak the numbers, this kind of behavior will manifest among gamers.
You know what it reminds me of?
Mega Traveler. It happened in GURPS.
But Rob, D&D didn't have that. There's different types of gamers.
Actually, it did. When they released Skills in Power,
that I stopped then. That's why I tapped out before that. I saw that bullshit coming and I tapped out. But as somebody who came from, there's like different types of gamers, right? I am a D&D gamer. I don't play other games. I'll dabble in once in a while. Like I'll want to play GURPS once. I played Greg's space game once. I'll play Matt Jackson's weird ass post-apocalypse one. You know what I mean? But I'm a D&D guy, swords and wizardry, and that's it. D&D clone, that's it, right? And so when we saw this happening with the 3.5 shit, I'm like, fuck you. I had no background on this like you did. I had none from the 80s or 90s where it got spreadsheet complicated.
I'm not blaming you for that.
I had.
It's very
either am I. I mean, I'm just saying it was a shock to the system. You know what I mean? It was a complete shock to the system. I just want to bounce back
in
up.
The 80s we called them gearheads because
that's all right. That makes sense because that's what it is. It's Excel sheet gearhead types. But there was a comment above by Mr. Gunn I wanted to hit on because I thought it made a good point. Rob Connolly, it's to you, Rob, but it's a general point that was valid. They have not created shit. They've been cloning everything ever since. The TSR created everything that Wizards of the Coast and Wizbros and all that have been doing ever since. Tell me something that Wizards, under their watch, created that was uniquely new and good.
Well, the Phandelver adventure in the starter set was good, and D&D, it's 5e, the initial core books was pretty solid.
Phandelver's good, but I mean, I'm talking about beyond the basic core rules. I mean, give me something. How did they innovate something in the RPG hobby? You know what I mean? They made a good starter adventure, cool. But and then they came out with. I mean, what did they innovate in the RPG hobby?
What do you mean innovate? When did anybody innovate anything in the RPG hobby? It's all
Gygax did, and throughout the years they added.
As far as Wizard, I think the main three things are. The Phandelver Adventure 5e, and in 3.0, they did not so much the whole system, but what they did is there were several mechanics that stood out. One is the ascending AC. The other was
that was a no-brainer though. That was waiting to happen, you know.
But they made it work, and they work well, and now it's on everybody's radar. The way to handle multi-classing was...
I'll give you that. That was good in 5e. That was the best multi-classing option I've ever seen. I agree with that.
I forgot the
I'll,
last name.
I'll tell you what else they did. Well, listen, advantage, disadvantage coming to D20 was.
But they stole that from something else, Eric. They took
Oh,
it.
I'm not saying they didn't. I think bringing it to D20. But you know what they did do? The SRD and the OGL.
All right.
Because those
Bingo.
of us here, listen, we're playing 2E with Joe's 4,000 pages of normal size print.
19
pages
of
at the
3.1
font. You know, but the reality is you wouldn't have Labyrinth Lord, Osric, DCC, Swords and Wizardry, Hyperborea, my own little Blades and Sorcery. It'd be a reskinning of Continual Light. You wouldn't have these games if it wasn't for the SRD and the OGL.
But that's a business decision. Mr. Gunn's point, which I missed, and my point was, what IP did they create that's unique? Forgotten Realms,
Eberron.
IP.
Eberron sucked
They purchased
balls.
Eberron from
and Eberron sucked balls anyway. It was a stupid fucking thing.
I understand it's not your cup of tea, but it has its fan base.
It's 3 people.
It's more popular than Birthright. I can tell you that for one
Who
thing.
fuck like Birthright ever? You know, I mean, but Eberron sucked balls. And the fact that they based their D&D online game on Eberron instead of a real fucking setting like Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms was fucking stupid. Who fucking cares about robot people? You know? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I want the award for it.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn, man. Nobody likes that shit.
All right, hold on.
Oh, yeah, good point, John. Eberron is 20 years old. What has Wizards created lately? Good fucking point.
What has Wizards created lately for me? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
No settings.
No settings.
The only thing they created of an IP related nature is Fandelver, but that, like you said, it's an adventure.
It's a fucking adventure.
Short campaign.
It's well done.
I think you guys are not appreciating the bad example that they serve as.
What?
Okay, there you go.
That is useful to the community to see.
What not to be?
Yeah, because like I was watching Black Lodge Games last night and their podcast, and they were talking about how in Vampire the Masquerade, they're basically implementing what Wizards of the Coast wishes they could do. They're locking down all the third-party content. They're screwing everybody, and so now their game is dying for this, stupidity. And you can see this is what WotC. This is the future of WotC doing this. Let's choke out everybody who loves our game, who wants to make things. That'll be good for us. Wow. And they're ahead of the curve. So it's like, that's the thing. Like, these guys are showing you what not to do. And as people learn, I mean, like the OGL fiasco, whatever your opinion on it, triggered huge innovations among independent people in figuring out new licensing. We need to have an Orc license, Black Flag license. We're going to have Macrease is releasing his stuff. He still hasn't decided on how he's going to support third party. You've got Shadow Dark it has a totally clear, easy ass license to follow. Like this, people have realized, okay, they stepped in it huge. I need to learn from that. That's the great benefit of WotC sucking.
Well, here we're going to show something else about WotC sucking. Thanks to one of the Traveler's comments. I did not realize this. I missed the news yesterday, but Cynthia has found herself a new home. If you like Funko Pops,
Funko,
she's going to be the CEO of Funko.
What's there? I know that name. What did they make?
It's those little bobble-headed dolls, Rob.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. I got to turn my camera off for a minute if I can figure it out.
I think this is one. One of these things,
That's
Rob.
one.
These little dudes. I got the Bumble.
That's where she fled to?
Well, it's not a bad gig.
Okay.
I mean, if I could be CEO,
I'm sure that's a hell of a
weird
challenge for
dudes,
an
why not?
ex-Microsoft executive.
Yeah.
All right, because I've got my Funko, but hold on. Nobody wants to see me walking halfway around the room with bad green screen. But
I don't know. What are you wearing tonight?
Go for the eyes, boo. Go for the eyes. I got my space hamster. I've got my...
Probably going to
Mint.
Get them some sweet Magic the Gathering and D&D licensing deals.
So that's, you know what? I'll make you a bet she gets no WotC licenses.
So, Eric, everybody, I have an important. Well, since we're talking transfer of position, I have some very important news. I have been officially appointed the Duke of Glisson in the Spinward Marches.
Oh, I've got one of those from like 15 years ago.
I've always thought you glistened, Rob.
Back when I ordered Traveler 5 or whatever it was, that took like forever to show up. And
I contribute annually to the Traveler RPG forum. It's like $20 every year, and Mark Miller decided since this is one of the Traveler anniversary years, that he was going to give all the backers of the forum one of the high end noble title, and I got Duke of Glisson. He keeps track of these. There isn't another Duke of Glisson.
I gotta pick out mine.
I will give you 100 credits on it.
100 credits.
100 credits.
Wait, what kind of credits are those? We don't take those kind of credits here.
They're goddamn Imperial Planet credits. You will take them. They're good in any system.
Not in this system. They ain't. Chris, you're late. That was actually the initial discussion, and not only that, are they stepping in it with that? But if you pre-order, the whole deal about pre-ordering, which you got the bundle, you got the physical and the digital, and you got the digital 2 weeks early, as of April 30th, no more early. So, yeah, they love you. Don't worry about it. You know. Flint, sounds like a demotion for Cynthia, but probably less stressful. No, don't. I don't like that Funko Pop. We've only got 10,143 different models. We need 10,000 and at least.
You can't even remember the number you say, can you?
It's too low.
You know what? Where's your Cynthia Williams Funko Pop? Oh, actually, it's right
there you go.
There, this is the Cynthia Williams Funko Pop, folks. Going for a mere $1 million. You can get your own Cynthia Williams Funko Pop.
I think Mr. Gunn, you've been popping points tonight, dude. When you say they want you out of the hobby, I would differ on one thing you're saying there. They don't give a shit about the hobby. All they care about is the income stream. They don't care. They're not the caretakers of the hobby that we want, need, or ever thought of. They are just fucking parasites and leeches who are sucking the lifeblood out of hobbyists. And they're just trying to corporatize this thing and make it so that there is no life or spirit or soul in this fucking hobby anymore. They don't know what a hobby is. They don't understand the mechanism of it. They don't get who the hell we are. They don't get who's been keeping this shit alive for 50 fucking years. They give no shits. All they want to do is make a computer RPG, call it a VTT, whatever crossover thing, and have people pay $5 a month if you want the +1 sword. Guess what? You could buy it for 5 fucking credits, which cost you $5 fucking dollars. Galactic or not, whatever the hell Rob got in his hand there. And next thing you know, your DM is fucked, in his game because you can move to a +1 sword. This is what they care about. They don't care about the game. They care about dice. I don't care what that fucking president says, Chris Cock fucking asshole fucking says. He doesn't play. He says he plays D&D. Fuck you right up your own fucking ass. You don't play fucking D&D, dude. If you did,
and here's the thing, though.
AI. Come on.
Here's the trap of the whole deal that what Hasbro, even if they were good guys, the fact is, as a piece of entertainment, playing RPGs has a limit. It takes it takes a fair amount of time, and it requires 2 or more people to coordinate their schedule in a way that's not true for movies, books, computer games. So.
What was that? What was that?
I didn't quite hear you. You weren't. I got too loud.
Multiple personalities.
So the thing is, once you start branching out, into books, into computer games. You'll quickly find it. Every dollar that you put in there is going to return more value for it because we can't compete with that at RPG. So they're just going to take themselves right out of the hobby. So
yeah, they don't care about
I think in our own self-interest, even if they were a good guy, we are better off supporting those who focus solely in the hobby. With the way Kickstarter works, the way with print on demand works, we don't need the volume anymore. We can make plenty of profit just off of supporting RPGs the way they meant to be supported.
Rob, are you talking about Hasbro itself, or
Hasbro or any company? We saw this with GURPS, Tim. And
well,
Steve
I mean, if
Jackson
you're bringing
did.
up Hasbro, I mean, you need, as far as I know, you need more than one person to play all those board games they make too.
Yeah, but with the board games,
You can think of
even
something.
they
Come on.
pale in
Yeah.
comparison to
You got him,
computer
Tim.
games.
I love it. Tim hasn't said a word in
Tim
1 hour
was-
and 17 minutes. He pipes up, says one sentence, looks back at his map he's drawing, and Rob is stammering.
You just
I am
you
drawing
just-
out
I'm
after.
not-
Hold up
You
the
just
map,
got-
Tim. Let's see.
you just
Let's
got
see what it is.
sniped, Rob. You
Well,
got
Well,
sniped.
he just said from out of nowhere. Yeah, totally. Here we go. So that, Tim. What is this map you've been drawing? As
Just
Rob is
messing around
stammering for an
with
answer.
that.
What are you drawing there, dude?
Screw you guys.
Rob, Rob,
Wait,
I'm,
hold up that map again, Tim.
Why?
He's
Just
looking for
hold up
toilets.
again.
He's going to bust your balls about toilets, Tim.
No. He decided on a tree. Look at that. He actually decided on a type of tree.
A tree.
Oh, so you're going there, Rob? Huh? I always make this kind of trees. I just make you change the trees.
Well, since we're showing off maps, I'll do my last.
Oh, here we go. We got to
reach
reach
Oh.
around. We got to reach around, boys and girls.
My
Yeah.
bingo card didn't have this many
Man,
rounds.
He's going to be sore after tonight.
I know.
I've been completing a mega dungeon project for a client.
Hey, everybody, as he holds that up, find the toilet. This is the most racist map ever because I guarantee you the orcs have nowhere to take a shit. And yet the evil white male humans have somewhere to take a shit. Racist map, Rob.
They got
Racist
chamber
map.
pot.
I am triggered, and there's a microaggression somewhere on that map. I guarantee you.
Yeah, whatever. You don't know the adventure yet, so you don't know what the hell.
We'll
you're
see.
talking about.
There better not be a microaggression. I'll call you better than that shit, man. I cannot be aggressed.
Rob, I'm actually sympathetic to your point about that. It's a unique thing for them to try to make money off of, but they are not equipped to do it. There are a lot of avenues that they could follow to make money in role-playing game that they refuse to do, and since they refuse to do it as the kind of prime mover of the hobby, they doom everyone else as a result. They could go out there and do serious community building and do all kinds of stuff to try to get it out there. They could pitch it to parents as a way to get their kids off of video games. They could do all kinds of shit that they simply refuse to do. Okay, they refuse to do it. They don't even have the creativity to have it occur to them.
There's nobody left, Greg, who understands what the hobby is and how it. There's nobody left. They're all gone. You know, there's just fucking corporate hacks left, I think. That's really it.
Yeah, but even if you're a corporate hack, you can hire somebody to do it. If
they don't care
if
enough. They don't even know that they should. They don't know they should.
That they won't do it, Joe. They suck. I'm saying they could. They could.
I really dropped the C word again.
They just choose. They just choose not to.
They don't understand that they could even, or that they should even. That's what I'm saying. The only people left don't even understand what they have. You know what I mean? It's like Jack and the Beanstalk with the fucking beans. He doesn't know what he has. He gotta have him for fucking dinner. That's what Wizards of the Coast is doing right now. They don't know what they fucking have because they have nobody left who knows. It's a shame. It's a fucking shame.
Yeah, but we're doing the work for them, just like tonight. All we do is fucking bitch about them and talk about them, and it just serves their point. It doesn't have to be good press. It can be bad press. You ever heard the saying, of course.
Yep.
So we're keeping the conversation alive. Therefore, we're keeping them alive when we should be talking about other people.
What do you want to talk about?
That we like.
What do you got going on, Tim?
I got my map right now, and I'm just chilling out and listening to you guys trying to bring the goodness back into the Wizards. A dead horse. It's dead already. It's just
You
dead.
should really be
Well,
infesting it with
yeah.
rot grubs is what we should be doing.
Well,
We
it
should
already
extend
is.
Yeah.
It's where all what rot grubs come from. Is the wives.
All Wizards of the Coast.
That's where they all
I've
go.
got the conversation that's gonna.
All right.
We're still not demonetized yet.
All right.
I'm very.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
We're not yet. I
Not
gotta
yet.
fix that. Eric, have you ever played baseball and?
So,
Good fumble there, Joe.
Oh, here we
and-
go.
Oh,
This
let's not do
bullshit.
this. This is
This bullshit.
I mean,
no,
this
no,
is total-
because if you looked at the rest of the rule books as they progressed, the warrior's gender was pretty obvious. If you ask the artist, the warrior's gender is obvious. If you looked at Larry Elmore's art and looked at every woman he's drawn,
Yeah.
the gender is obvious.
There's no chainmail bikini in this picture, boys and girls.
No.
I guess I don't know what the what.
Oh, Tim, you're out of the loop on this one,
yeah.
huh? There you go.
Like I said, I don't pay attention that much to
I know,
anything that's
I know.
that kind of part. But yeah, so what's wrong with the picture?
What's wrong is
show them the figure, so everybody knows what. So Tim knows what you're talking about.
Oh, I love Rob's pissed. All right, here we go. Let's get it going. A quick summary, Tim, as Eric pulls it up. WizKids decides that they and they only are going to be the ones to finally give out the big gender reveal of this character on the eponymous cover of what I think was Menster's Redbox, right?
Right.
And they're going to say this character was, in essence, the character you never saw the face of. It was a girl. And they came out with a miniature of it saying it's a girl. If you look at that picture, one thing. If you had the very large portion of it, the dude's legs are fucking massive. I got big legs. This dude makes me look like a little bitch. This is a dude.
The picture of the miniature.
Look at the miniature. Yeah, yeah. They made it a girl.
I don't see the miniature.
Hold on. Is it on this page here? Or
Is it on the page?
Oh,
there it is.
There
it is. There, scroll up. Scroll up to the picture, Eric.
Okay.
Yeah. That's apparently that picture all along, Tim. You didn't know this when you played Men's Redbox. That was a chick. Even though Elmore came out with an email to, I think, the Dungeon Delver and says, yes, that was always a male. Gygax asked me to put a man fighting a red dragon, and I drew that. Right. And so he puts out a man fighting a red dragon. WizKids, the miniature people who have a license with Wizards of the Coast, come out and say the gender is revealed once and for all. And 90 years later, and it's a chick. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit.
Remember when I said they hate you?
They hate you.
They hate you. And this goes to, again, not to get into the woke thing. They don't understand basic logic.
Yeah.
If, as they claim, if you want to produce a product that's representative of your customer and you have an existing product that is representative of an existing customer and you change that product, you should not be surprised when the customer doesn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's their own logic, and they're just idiots.
Well, to me, whatever, Greg, on that point, but really, the artist is still alive, and before this was even a glimmer in their eye, they should have asked the artist, "What did you paint here?" And he said, "Oh, it's like a Conan barbarian," and that should have put an end to it right there.
Johnny D. Elmore drew a chick and didn't even know it. Apparently, guess so.
Well, here's the thing: what's up on the screen is the figure of the warrior that was licensed to be done in 2022, 2023.
Well, the Maoists have no sense of history, Eric. Maoists erase history, and Maoism has infected wizards.
This is 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
You don't understand, Joe. Maoists are just making good faith problem. That's what Rob believes, right?
It's on.
They're just making good faith errors here. They just didn't think to call some dude. It's not that they hate you and they want to wipe you out from existence.
No, yeah.
It's that they just accidentally forgot to call the guy. It was just a corporate mix-up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Don't worry about it. They definitely don't hate you.
They don't like you.
It was idiocy, but they hate. I disagree. They hate you. I just think they're idiots. I see this all the time in my machinery business. If people have a lack of imagination, and they just do this, get this bullshit reason in their head, and all of a sudden they got a broken piece of equipment that cost them $10,000 to fix, and you're looking at them and said, "Why didn't you think?" If you wondered who this person was, call the artist.
I know, but Rob, I've never seen you find anyone having a malicious motive ever.
He's a
It
pal.
doesn't require maliciousness of that.
They didn't
that
mean
level.
to destroy Lord of the Rings. They just
Greg,
made Rings of Power suck ass. They didn't destroy this IP. They were just trying to make it better. It was all just a good faith mistake.
Oh, God.
No, they
Where's
hate
Matt?
you.
Where is
Rob.
Matt
They hate
Jackson
you.
when we need him?
One
Where
day
is
you'll
Matt Jackson
realize
when we
it.
need
They
him?
hate you.
He's watching
Greg,
YouTube
I
in
know
the
you're
back.
butthurt about a lot of things, but you'd never attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence.
Yeah, Rob,
That's a bullshit statement.
when they put you in the jail cell, it's not going to be an accident. Okay, it's not going to be a mistake. Eventually, they're going to cross a line with you, and you're going to realize, oh, they were really trying to fuck me over. It's not just idiocy. It's they maliciously hate you, and you don't see it. I feel bad about that, but
I'll give you
can't
this.
See it.
I'll straddle the. God, this sounds weird. I'm going to straddle both of you right now and tell you. I think that you're both right and wrong. All right.
Now we're getting.
All right. Ready? Are we getting kinky? So, Greg, the upper echelon doesn't know that we exist to a certain extent. They don't care. But the people they have as worker bees are Maoist woke lunatics who hate us. All right. So I don't think the higher ups hate us as much as the woke lunatics on the lower levels, the 19 that are left in Wizards of the Coast who deal with D&D. I think they fucking hate us. And that's why you have these stupid coffee shop D&D games that are coming out lately and, making up Thaco the Clown. They actively hate us. The upper echelon, Chris Cockhead, doesn't know that we fucking exist. He doesn't know who fucking Thaco the Clown is. He doesn't know what Thaco is. I think that's what's going on here.
I agree. There's clueless people in the organization that are involved with the malicious people. You're right. I'd agree with that statement. I just,
so I've successfully straddled you and Rob tonight in one.
With the whole coffee shop adventures, I actually think that specifically is evidence of how these people have never had any experiences in life.
Yeah.
You're asking a 23-year-old person who's never been anywhere, done anything, to come up with an exciting adventure about danger. And they're like, oh, one time I went to Starbucks. All right, about that.
So the coffee shop adventure here, what the larger context is they made that whole book was about a magic school. That coffee shop was one aspect of the magic school. The failure is not the coffee shop adventure. It's that they made a boring ass magic school that happened. And
if only there was another IP of a magic school that was kick ass.
Yeah.
If only that existed, they could have taken those ideas, but they could have divided people up into, say, teams or houses, and they could have created competitive situations and all kinds of stuff like that instead of coffee shops.
Yeah.
If only someone could have told them. They're just so ignorant and they're not malicious. They're just dumb, wandering through life like in a retarded fog.
Matt Jackson has arrived, and he's pointing to the person who's wrong in this conversation. So just throwing her out there.
Where's Matt?
Sorry, I disagree with you guys.
Yeah, it's your good nature, Rob. That you just you're being stabbed to death by the kobold, and you're like, this kobold probably is just dumb.
It's sounding more like The View right now than anything else.
A bunch of old cackling ladies.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Nobody's listening to each other.
Nobody's listening.
Shots and
John Miller points out that Bad Mike, when we addressed this briefly on Wednesday, that the Whiz Kids mini debacle was probably just a deliberate attempt to stir pointless controversy and get some free publicity for the mini. First off, it isn't 50 years of wondering, because this came out in what, 83?
84, 83, 84, yeah.
It's like
But even, I agree, John may be right in their intent or thought process or whatever. It's in some respect, but as the critical drinker has pointed out, they're hitting the same target so many times that people go, okay, you guys are assholes, and walk away. You can't attack your own fans every time. And I mean, this
with no cost. With no cost.
They're now releasing movies that are okay, like that new Fall Guy movie, and nobody's going to see it because they're sick of this shit. Like, that's the kind of thing. Like, these people have hit the drum so many times, called wolf. Nobody cares anymore. Like, oh, you're just gonna make shit. I'm not gonna pay for you to shove shit in my face.
I assume something is woke and stupid until proven wrong. I need to see the critical drinker, Gary from Erotic, the quartering. I need to see at least 3 or 4 reviews from people I trust to say this ain't woke. It's actually fucking pretty good, and then I'll go to fucking see the movie. Did you see the movies that are coming up? I think I posted in our little friendly group chat we have there with all of us. God, there's nothing I want to see. The whole goddamn summer out to the fall. Another goddamn thing I want to see. It's terrible, man.
The movie theaters are starting to have a lot more. They used to have them sometimes, but now it's like almost all the time having old movies that people actually want to see. On the screen. Like, go see Top Gun, go see Die Hard again.
I would love to see
have special events, or they have, church services and stuff like that. Yes, that's going all over the place. They're trying to stay in business. But the fact is, this summer's slate of movies, aside from a handful like Dune 2, is mostly a result of
Dune 2
we're getting the dregs after the Hollywood strike.
Yeah, no, it's not beyond that, Rob. They had nothing in the fucking hopper before. They could blame the strike all they want. Their creativity level was down to like -10. There was nothing going on there, man. They had nothing. Look at the network TV shows. They cut the fucking lineup in half. And all these workers are out. The writers and all that who went on strike are done because they agreed to a stupid fucking contract that gives them shit. It allows the showrunner to basically say, "We don't need you. I'm going to write the whole goddamn thing myself." They're done.
They're also trapped in a state that wants to end their business.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate reality.
All right, can we start talking about gaming, not politics?
Well, not.
It's the same. It's the same thought process at WotC. It's the exact same. It's the exact same thought process.
All right, gaming. A gaming analogy. I'm listening to an old Joe Rogan interview today. I get up in the morning, hit the shower, listen to some long form interview, 2-3 hours long. I drive to work listening to it, and I drive home listening to it. I'm not quite done because it's almost like a 3-hour thing. And it's really good. It's Joe Rogan interviewing Quentin Tarantino, talking about what Quentin did in the early 90s, bridged the old 80s Hollywood of stupid fucking lousy ass movies into the new age of movie directors, right? This happened when the Hollywood studios went to shit in the late 60s, and we had Easy Rider and all the other movies that came out that were sort of New York edgy. Right, you saw coming out in the early 70s to mid 70s, right? Scorsese, Lucas, all these guys made their name back then. Apocalypse Now guy, what the fuck is his name? I forget all the fucking time.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Boom, right? And so you have all these guys coming out. They're still alive, but they're in their fucking 80s and shit, and they're all making an appearance at, I think, Sundance or whatever the one is, Cannes, I think, or something like that. Cannes. They're all making some kind of an appearance there this year. Lucas for getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. The other guys got movies coming out. Francis Ford Coppola sold his fucking vineyard to create the movies he's wanted to create for the last 30 fucking years. These are auteurs with a vision, and they are doing something still. I'm not done. I haven't hit my point yet, Rob. So these are auteurs with a vision who are putting something out because fuck the establishment system. I think what we have now in movies and entertainment is the same bullshit establishment system we had in the 60s, in the 80s that Tarantino revolted against, and in the RPG industry now. We have the same staid, lousy, shithole crap RPG industry. And I think that now is the time when independents can make their move, just like Tarantino did in 1991. That's what I wanted to say. Anyway.
I think they already are, Joe. I mean,
I agree. Shadow Dark?
It's already happening, yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's one of a couple examples you could think of, but yeah, it's like enough of us will just get tired of it, and eventually, we'll be seeking out different versions of things that we enjoy and whatnot, and then that'll become the new thing, and then that'll get kind of diluted.
Mhm.
It's like anything. They have their sweet spot. They have their time.
Yeah.
And then, things you got to move on. You can't.
Well, just in politics, I mean, looking in revolutionaries, the revolutionaries throw down the elite, become the new elite, and then they are revolted against in 3 or 4 generations, right? I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same pattern over and over. Right. You look at For Whom the Bell Tolls, right? Hemingway's book.
Yep.
As soon as he got 3 fucking horses, he became the fucking elite, and then he lost his edge. He didn't want to revolt anymore. It's the same thing. It's the same pattern over and over and over again. In the meantime, we have the staid, old, lousy shithole, professional, normal industry. And I think that was the time, now's the time. How do we bridge the gap though? How do we do the straddle? How do we get people into our shit? How do we evolve our shit into something people want?
You look at TV and what is every show? It's a reworking of a classic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Disney announced this week that they're going to be focusing on sequels instead of real new properties.
Mm. It goes back to who's created what IP lately. Wizards of the Coast has not created IP. They've created in the sense of a creative setting or anything like that.
So unlike movies and TVs, which really take a lot of capital, both human capital and financial capital, to bring to life in a quality way.
Mm-hmm.
RPGs, the barrier for us to do what we want in the form that we want has dropped dramatically. So in our neck of the woods,
what do you mean, Rob?
Whatever problem
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It's like you guys bitching about wizards this, wizards that. And yes, I bitched along too. So I'm not, it's nice to gossip about it, but ultimately, Greg did Shadow Sun. Yeah. Whatever he and I disagree about, he was able in his own time, while holding down a job, while having to have a family life, was able to produce a quality work in Shadow Sun, and he's reaping the rewards for that. And he's not stopping there. He's moving on with other projects. I'm moving on with other projects.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, someday you will move on to a project.
I'm moving on.
You just got to get one first.
Man.
Boom.
I'll give you that one. It ain't wrong.
And Tim has his stuff going on too. And we can do this because really what's the main capital we have to contribute is our time. We have to put the time into it. And, we'll have our misfires, but, we do not have to raise 10 grand just to print 1,000 books so we can, in the hopes that the distributor would pick it up, in the hope that it will appear on somebody's game store.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can, if we're not happy with Wizards, whether you're on the left, the right, center, up or down, strange or charmed, we can make our own path now in a way that almost no other field of entertainment or leisure can. Whatever chaos, internet, and the digital technology has caused, it hit us first, it hit us hardest, and now, but those of us who are able to adapt, like Kelsey, like Greg, like myself, like all of us, most of us here listening to this now, we can forge our own path, make the hobby the way we want it to be, rather than wait on the largest of whatever creative team that Wizards has chosen to hire at the moment. Because I guarantee if Wizard was a white wing organization and hired right wing creatives who only thought in right wing point of view, they're still going to do crap because they just can only think they just can't have a broad enough view to produce.
There's no creative people left, Rob. There's no creatives. They're just corporate hacks left. That's all it is.
They're going to be corporate hacks of a different variety. Well, those of us who are working, we have passion for our product. We're willing to listen to the people who buy our stuff, who download our stuff in case of those who are just sharing. And we have the means of controlling that. I mean, I'm working with a guy, from Hungary. I work with people in Spain and France. I couldn't have done this in the 80s. I could
No.
not have done this in the 90s.
What did we have in the 80s? We had a game store that had like little cards said looking for a group, looking for a DM, looking for players. I mean, that's what do we have, you know?
Yeah,
The local
Terrell.
store. Isn't that how you guys met, you and Tim? I mean, something
No.
like that, or was it high school?
No, we were in high school. Yeah, it was before that. But
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, Rob. I don't spend any time except on this podcast complaining about WotC.
Yeah.
In my real life,
I had no
I
time
spend-
otherwise.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
spend
matter.
all my creative time is on my own stuff or working with something like Adventure Conquer King or Shadow Dark or something like that. Yeah, I don't give them a penny. I don't even care about what they do. Usually when the controversy hits the social media, I try to mute whoever's getting shared a bunch so that I don't see all the shares. And I just don't care. Like that guy on the cover. I mean, I was born in '81. I don't give a shit about that box. I could care less. Like if it hurts somebody's feelings or it's stupid or whatever. I mean, like it's entertaining to see what's happening, but it doesn't affect me in any way whatsoever. I'm not going to buy that mini. I'm not going to buy that anything that they make. And I feel like that's the best thing to do is total disengagement. I've had that policy every time we've talked about this in the past. I don't give them 1 cent. And if it's an old product, I will try to pirate it rather than give them money through drive-through to get it.
You mean find it accidentally on your hard drive, right? Greg?
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Black flag.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Greg, I got one thing to show here, but I always I don't care to run a Gloranthia campaign, but I'm interested in knowing more about it. And they came out with a rather nice source book. It's actually a second edition of a source book. But I kind of like the cover. The interior quality is good. Got to say, after their missteps of a few years ago, Chaosium has really turned things around. And this has nice bookmarks in it. So I like the really physical quality. It's a nice read. Not sure if I were using it in a campaign, but.
Well, we've touched on a lot of topics today, folks, and we didn't beat any horses that we already did.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Well, maybe just a bit.
I numbered a dungeon during this whole podcast.
Hey, listen, I
got a whole map.
I inked my map. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have toilets, Tim?
For you, Joe, they'll be in there for you.
Thank you.
I will make.
I don't ask for too much, dude. I don't ask for too much.
I will change every John into a Joe.
I think that the way to approach this toilet thing for you, Joe, is
still monetized.
To look at whatever
for a minute
the disease rules are for that setting that you're making the dungeon for, and then pack a room with refuse that triggers the disease roll. That's what I do. Like, okay, if they stay in this room for more than one round, they're making some saving throws. But they might open it up and go, I wonder if there's any gold coins under that.
For the shitter searchers. Yeah, you're talking about those guys. Yeah. That's a whole different thing. It's a whole different animal
in there or something.
I would definitely put 2,000 copper pieces in there. By the way, Rob got a good review on Ragnardia. And you said the editing had some, what was it, quibbles?
2,000 of them.
2,000 quibbles?
Did he actually say that?
No,
I did. That's not
what
literally he said, but
that would have been great.
I read that.
I know.
He missed it. He should have. He missed the shiz.
He had a window to bust my balls, but he didn't do it.
He did.
He really didn't do it.
Those are the perils of being 50% deaf. So I'll take my. Don't worry, I'll have my moment again.
No. We're talking about Ragnardia.
Oh, okay.
But your hard of hearing did do that this time too.
Yeah,
so you were there.
We'll take it as a blessing.
Yep.
Blessing be upon us. This was good, and we had a good turnout. Look at that. Even
it was got a good turnout.
There are times I'm like, oh my god, like Joe's gonna be either at the bar or at the gym, to be me and Rob going.
I'm always here though. I might be 10 minutes late, but I don't think I've ever.
Oh,
when did I
Eric,
miss?
you know that the steamrolling people is always looking behind under the surface. Give me an opening, and
Yeah.
without Tim here,
How did you go with your interview the other day? Did you steamroll them or did you?
no. I had that little timer going. I was watching.
Okay.
You set timers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's you got.
Well, actually, I more rely on my clock over there.
It's an old picture trick, so they wouldn't do their sermons too long. They either put the clock on the back of the walls so they knew, or some of them will put like lodgings and mints or something in their mouth, and then when they knew it was, almost that, they had to wrap up their sermons and stuff. Go to.
So Rob, whose channel were you on?
DM Bloodworth.
Oh,
I will be on DM Bloodworth's live stream Sunday at 8.
Oh, nice. This is about your new.
Yep.
Oh, damn it! I'm not going to say swords and wizards. I know.
Blades and sorcery.
Blades and sorcery.
Yeah, blades and sorcery.
And
remember, you have to remember
the
Eric,
BS. It's all BS.
It's all BS, man. BS. It can be BS light, BS complete. I don't know, but we're gonna work on it, man. But yeah, I think.
Oh, wait a minute! You forgot about BS continual light.
Well, with BS continual light, we don't have to do that because we don't have to call it continual light because we can just call it BS. Yeah. BS core BS.
Are you going to stick with the light rule set, or are you going to do a fuller treatment like my Majestic Fantasy or Swords and Wizardry Complete? BS Complete.
We are sticking with the whole idea of Swords. Well, BS Light is going to essentially be what was Swords and Wizardry Light. Maybe a little bit more clarified. We are adding gnomes because I got to add gnomes. I'm sorry, man.
You gotta have.
Do they get ladder proficiencies?
Oh, but you know what? I think I'm gonna have to have a piece of artwork done with just a ladder and a gnome standing in front of it.
Oh, you gotta have the gnome named Snickle, dude. The name's gotta be named Snickle.
Yeah, and a dunce cap with a big.
Or Jackson, Snickle Jackson, dude. Snickle
right.
Jackson.
You could have a gnome.
I'll never forget the look on Matt's face when he looked over my Dwarven Forge setup for the first Shire Con.
Yes, that was awesome.
That
was awesome, dude. We're at the table. I was sitting next to Matt. I think it was hungover a little bit. I had my coffee going, and you put the thing out there, the ladder, and he's like, "Motherfucker,
is that
gonna come this year?"
Eric, I got it. You got a ladder coming down through the ceiling down into a dungeon level, right? You got a gnome descending, and then he falls backwards, and there's a carrion crawler that he's falling into.
I gotta talk to Jim Wampler, see if he can turn it into a Marvin the Mage cartoon.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
But
Marvin
Eric,
the Mage.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a little cartoon.
RPG Grandma has a good point here. You need to make a logo for BS.
Was that Marvin the Mage?
Had a bull in
it. We shall see. There might be some playing with that. But BS Light is going to be, if it's Swords and Wizardry Light, just a little cleaner, digest size, pay what you want in PDF, a little bit above cost in print, but you're not making your money on that. But then the complete rules, again, it's going to be D6s and a D20. So as long as you have that, you're good. With the core rules, we might actually include, hey, if you have an 18, maybe we'll give you something better than +1. We'll see. Maybe a +2. Well, I don't know yet. But there'll be more spells. There'll be, the core rules will be larger than they are now.
All right.
We'll be offering more, and it'll be digest size because everybody likes digest.
When's it out, Eric?
Yes.
Light should be out, I'm assuming, before the end of the month.
Wow. Oh, great.
We don't have Joe to do editing for us. So it
won't be as good as it could.
Understandable.
Yeah, so we're going to be using Tim Cask.
Who?
Tim Cask.
Tim Cask is editing?
Yes.
Really? All right. That's awesome, actually. I didn't think you were still doing that sort of shit, dude.
Yeah, so
awesome.
So we're gonna have Tim give it the Tim.
Well, if we don't get the intro to deities and demigods, or not deities and demigods, gods, demigods, and heroes, then it's good. But if we do get that intro, we know it's bad.
I don't
that went over my
understand.
head.
He
I
wrote a
don't
very
either.
sarcastic,
I was gonna say,
Oh, okay. All right.
mocking everybody mocking everybody who buys this supplement
What?
because they only wrote it for the power gamers who want to kill gods.
Oh, okay. No, fair enough.
Was that a
No,
shot against Rob Coons? Because I thought he was involved in that a lot.
I don't know.
I don't know if Rom Cruz
Interesting.
wrote that.
Well, we
he
already.
was.
I know Tim Cass was the editor and he wrote the intro.
Yeah, Tim's already given feedback, and he was the one that went like, "Light's good." He goes, "Continue a light." He goes, "You don't
much.
even need it. Well, 'cause why do you need it if you're not?" It was Swords and Wizardry Continue a Light because we had to differentiate from Swords and Wizardry Core and again, Complete and White Box, and now it's going to be its own standalone game. We can just call it, Blades and Sorcery, and I think we're going to change Magic users to sorcerers just to fit the theme better. So
So are you going to be writing modules now, Eric, for Blades and Sorcery?
Right now, it's going to initially be. I'll be writing supplements. I think Bad Mike has some adventures already ready to go in a file. But the idea is, and this is me talking here. So the idea is BS Light out before June. BS Core out sometime early summer. And the newest Torchlight coming out early fall and then regularly.
I submitted shit to Torchlight for your damn zine 9 years ago, dude, or something like that. I mean,
I might have still been working initially, I think, or recently retired. But yeah, so no, actually, with Don and Tom, the idea is to get Torchlight out on a quarterly basis.
Nice.
Well, your buddy Spawn looked like he went full time, didn't he?
I'm sorry.
Rob, do you want me to something?
No. Tim talking.
I was just saying. I saw. Didn't James go full time writer now? So get that old fart working for you a little bit for that stuff. Adventure writing couldn't get any or better for that. So.
And
Joe
Rob,
could work on Torchlight
Blood
letters
Island
or
supplement.
something. You could do
Torchlight. Torchlight what?
Torchlight letters,
Torchlight by blood.
You won't believe what happened to me in the dungeon. by
Torchlight
JoetheLawyer.
Diary.
Tales from the Torchlight. Yeah.
So Rob,
Did you guys see? Did you guys see the
the
show?
one I owe you a
Rob was
setting?
trying to talk. Rob was trying to talk.
Oh, good.
Is this the one I owe you a setting on?
It might be. Yeah. I'll get
Just
it.
say yeah.
Just rename Black Marsh.
Well, he doesn't need me to do anything for that.
No, it's awesome.
Eric Marsh.
Yeah.
Tenkar Marsh. It's not that hard.
All right, so you were saying, Joe?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Dude, that was like at least 19 seconds ago, man.
Oh yeah, I know.
What I was saying. I don't know.
All right. Well, how about we wrap it up then?
All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, folks. Thank you for hanging with us.
Yep.
By the way, those of you that have been helping, supporting me throughout this whole lawsuit bullshit, we might have an appeal being filed, so it is the continuing lawsuit bullshit. But that's what we have. Blades and Sorcery.
It's like herpes.
Yeah. Oh.
Never goes away. It just flares up once in a while. Never fucking goes away, man.
No. Oh, God, no.
It must be hard for you, Joe.
Sorry.
All right, moving on.
TMI. TMI.
You ointments don't work. What can I say?
All right, folks. As always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll this dice. Rolling well this weekend. Tomorrow, Gamers Health. Me and Rach, 8 o'clock. And Sunday, DM Bloodworth channel. He'll be asking me questions about Blades and Sorcery. Hopefully, I have more answers.
Cool.
I don't know.
All right.
Or I'll make shit up and then tell Don, dude, I made shit up. I'm sorry, man. I think we're blocked in this corner. You got to do a 400-page.
Yeah, now you got to do this.
Oh, I mean, we make shit up. That's the art of being a DM in the old school, right? I mean, make shit up.
I don't know. I'm not going to look up that fucking rule. I'll just make it up right now.
Yeah.
All right, gents, ladies.
Later.